Hello again, everybody. This is Joseph with another tutorial about the gauges in your instrument panel. We discussed last time, right now it's about 39 degrees ambient temperature, outside temperature. And as we said before, if you look at the gauges, let's start, of course, with the battery. When this is over 14, the alternator is working and it's charging the battery. If I turn the car off, you'll see the gauge. Right there, it comes up slowly and slowly because it's been charged. So it's somewhere around 13.5, 13.6. You start the car, you put it in start, back to run, position. As you can see, now it's about 14.3, which is normal. Again, on a colder day, the alternator voltage output has a temperature compensation, so it would be a little higher. But it should be, like we said, from about 13.6 to about 14.3, around that area, as we say. The other ones over here, as you see over here, this gauge over here, this is the temperature we said of the engine getting, the temperature of the engine getting warmer and warmer, as you can see by the symbol. So as you can see, normal operating temperature is around 190, 200. For the temperature of the engine. So we know, like we said, on 39 degrees it'll come up much quicker. If it's about 20 degrees, it'll take much longer for this gauge to go up to normal operating temperature. Of course, if you have the compressor on, this will be a little more than 210, 220. So around midpoint is normal for this gauge. Okay, next we said the oil pressure. The oil pressure, as you can see, was high, about 46, 50 psi. As you warm up the engine temperature will get warmer, and you start idling, which we're doing, it will decrease. As you can see, it was over here, now it's over here. So around 20 to 40 psi is normal. And as you can see, when you open throttle, almost at 2,000 RPM. This will go higher, about 50, 60 psi. But there's a certain amount, like we said, it can't keep on increasing because of a pressure regulator that controls the pressure. This, as we said, the RPM, revolutions per minute. This was up here when I first started, and about 5 minutes later it went down to about 600 RPM, which is normal. Now, like we said before, on a cold day, 20 degrees, the computer looks at the intake air temperature, looks at the mass airflow sensor, how much air is coming in, and the temperature of the air, colder air, warmer air. It has to adjust the air-fuel ratio. So therefore, we are in open loop. That means the computer is not paying attention to the oxygen sensors yet. The post-catalytic and pre-catalytic oxygen sensors coming off the exhaust, because the oxygen sensors have not warmed up yet. They have heaters in them. Therefore, it takes a while. Therefore, in open loop. But the computer does have to look at the TPS, which is the throttle position sensor, which is when I'm doing this. I'm opening the throttle with the gas pedal. I'm allowing more air. More air means more fuel. More air, more fuel means more RPM. So therefore, the pulse width modulation is wider to open up the fuel injectors. They are grounded more. As I said in other videos, the fuel injectors are connected to B+, but the other side of the fuel injectors are connected to the PCM, which is a ground. Anytime the computer wants the fuel injectors to open, it gives them a ground. And this is what's happening. When I'm opening throttle, the TPS, the sensor, will see how wide the throttle plate is being opened. The air temperature, how much air, the weight and mass of the air, temperature of the engine, All of this is taken consideration by the PCM, as I explained in other videos. So on a day like today, 39 degrees, it'll go down much quicker. So anywhere, somebody asked me if it's 1100 on a 20-degree day, is that normal? Absolutely. That means the computer is working, operating properly, because it sees that the air is cold. It sees that the engine is cold. Remember, you have metal parts on the engine. It sees that everything is cold. The RPM is supposed to be high. And then gradually, as we increase the flow, the fuel injectors, we open them. We are pouring more fuel or vapor into the cylinders. Therefore, this will go down gradually. The fact that the RPM was high on a cold 20-degree day means the PCM is working correctly, means the IAT, intake air temperature sensor, is working correctly, means the mass airflow sensor is working correctly, means the idle air control is working correctly. Why? Because it should be high. And gradually it should go down. Now, if you notice, we've been here a couple of minutes doing this video, and look at this going up almost to normal operating temperature. Normal operating temperature, about 190, 200. And the thermostat starts to open up, depending on the model, about 120 degrees, 140 degrees, depending on the model. So therefore, this is normal. Right now, we're about 600, and this is normal. This is normal. It'll go down even more as you drive, because the oil will thin out. So therefore, I hope this was helpful, and please go to my other videos on automotive schematics from Joseph. Thank you for all the viewers that have given me great views. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.